So, Martyn, just explain to us what today's been about and how useful you think it's been in terms of talking about player welfare.
Well, I think it's been really important because trying to bring together people that are involved in different aspects of player care, player welfare is really important. It's probably one of the first times when I've seen a room where we've got player liaison officers from the first team and academy staff, and quite often we operate in separate areas, and actually bringing people together and sharing ideas I think has been really useful.
Lots of interesting topics today, but one of the ones that's probably most engaging in dealing with young players particularly is social media and all the traps potentially out there. How important is it for young players to really understand what it's about?
I think it's really important. And I wouldn't just say young players, I'd say parents and staff, as someone mentioned in the conference, educating them how to use it, and particularly younger players, how to protect themselves, because obviously young players can be very vulnerable, particularly when they sort of talk about what they're doing in terms of their clubs and their academies. So educating them right the way through the system, as we talked about, is really important. So what you educate a player at 12, 14 will be different to what you educate a young professional. So we need to make sure our education programs reflect the different types of issues you will have at different ages.
And of course, one of the things that probably wasn't an issue 20 years ago when the Premier League started was the number of players coming from overseas needing to settle in this country. Yeah. Another big important issue to discuss today.
It is a big issue. I think there's a misconception about how many foreign players are in the academy system. 95% of players in the academy system are English or British, but it doesn't mean we don't have to duty of care for the 5%. And I think we covered this at one of our own conferences recently in terms of cultural awareness and how do you equip a young player who comes over here to culturally settle. And also to make the staff and the coach understand it might take 6 months before the player starts performing off the field, because until they get all the issues off the field dealt with, then it will have an impact on performance.
And of course, again, 20 years ago, many of these issues weren't issues. I mean, it's a whole industry that has grown up as the popularity of the Premier League and football in general has taken off, hasn't it?
It is. I mean, when I worked at a club, there were like 3 of us that were full-time in the youth department. I went to what I would call a medium-sized Premier League club the other day. They had 38 full-time academy staff. So the industry has grown, but the demands on young players is growing. And what we also have to realise is we take young people out of school a lot now into the clubs because we want to coach them. With that comes a massive responsibility as well. It's not therefore just about coaching, it's about education, it's about ensuring that we make them socially responsible. People talk today about the bubble. We talk about actually making sure that we don't keep them in the bubble, that we actually expose them to what other young people will be exposed to during their growing up.
So all in all, a successful conference, lots of debate, discussion and follow-ups.
Yeah, very much so, very much so. Good to network as well and to meet people that haven't met before, to hear the different services that are available. Yeah, very, very positive day.